Chapter 14 of Uncle's Dream by Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Translated by Frederick Wishaw. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Greg Giordano. Chapter 14. Zinaida, or Zina Afanasievna, was an individual of an extremely romantic turn of mind. I don't know whether it really was that she had read too much of "that fool Shakespeare," with her "little tutor fellow," as Maria Alexandrovna insisted, but, at all events, she was very romantic. However, never in all her experience of Mordasoff life had Zina before made such an ultra-romantic, or perhaps I might call it heroic, display as on the occasion of the sally which I am now about to describe. Pale, and with resolution in her eyes, yet almost trembling with agitation, and wonderfully beautiful in her anger and scorn, she stepped to the front. Gazing around at all defiantly, she approached her mother in the midst of the sudden silence which had fallen on all present. Her mother roused herself from her swoon at the first indication of a projected movement on Zina's part, and she now opened her eyes. "Mamma," cried Zina, "why should we deceive anyone? Why befoul ourselves with more lies? Everything is so foul already that surely it is not worth while to bemean ourselves any further by attempting to gloss over the filth." "Zina, Zina, what are you thinking of? Do recollect yourself!" cried Maria Alexandrovna, frightened out of her wits, and jumping briskly up from her chair. "I told you, mamma, I told you before, that I should not be able to last out the length of this shameful and ignominious business," continued Zina. "Surely we need no further bemean and befoul ourselves. I will take it all on myself, mamma. I am the basest of all, for lending myself, of my own free will, to this abominable intrigue. You are my mother, you love me, I know, and you wish to arrange matters for my happiness, as you thought best, and according to your lights. Your conduct, therefore, is pardonable; but mine, oh no, never, never!" "Zina, Zina, surely you are not going to tell the whole story? Oh, woe, woe! I felt that the knife would pierce my heart." "Yes, mamma, I shall tell all. I am disgraced. We—all of us are disgraced." "Zina, you are exaggerating, you are beside yourself, and you don't know what you are saying. And why say anything about it? The ignominy and disgrace is not on our side, dear child. I will show in a moment that it is not on our side." "No, mamma, no!" cried Zina, with a quiver of rage in her voice. "I do not wish to remain silent any longer before these persons, whose opinion I despise, and who have come here for the purpose of laughing at us. I do not wish to stand insult from any one of them. None of them have any right to throw dirt at me. Every single one of them would be ready at any moment to do things 30 times as bad as anything either I or you have done or would do. Dare they, can they constitute themselves our judges? Listen to that! There's a pretty little speech for you! Why, that's us she's abusing! A nice sort of creature she is herself!" These and other such-like exclamations greeted the conclusion of Zina's speech. "Oh, she simply doesn't know what she's talking about," observed Natalia Dimitrievna. We will make a digression and remark that Natalia Dimitrievna was quite right there. For if Zina did not consider these women competent to judge herself, why should she trouble herself to make those exposures and admissions which she proposed to reveal in their presence? Zina was in much too great a hurry. She always was. So the best heads in Mordasoff had agreed. All might have been set right, all might have been satisfactorily arranged. Maria Alexandrovna was a great deal to blame this night too. She had been too much in a hurry, like her daughter, and too arrogant. She should have simply raised the laugh at the old prince's expense, and turned him out of the house. But Zina, in despite of all common sense, as indicated above, and of the sage opinions of all Mordasoff, addressed herself to the prince. "Prince," she said to the old man, who actually rose from his armchair to show his respect for the speaker, so much was he struck by her at this moment, "Prince, forgive us. We have deceived you, we entrapped you." "Will you be quiet, you wretched girl?" cried Maria Alexandrovna, wild with rage. "My dear young lady, my dear child, my darling child!" murmured the admiring prince. But the proud, haughty character of Zina had led her on to cross the barrier of all propriety. She even forgot her own mother, who lay fainting at her feet, a victim to the self-exposure her daughter indulged in. "Yes, prince, we both cheated you. Mamma was in fault, in that she determined that I must marry you, and that I consented thereto. We filled you with wine. I sang to you, and postured and posed for your admiration. We tricked you, a weak, defenceless old man. We tricked you, as Mr. Mosgliakoff would express it, for the sake of your wealth and your rank. All this was shockingly mean, and I freely admit the fact. But I swear to you, prince, that I consented to all this baseness from motives which were not base. I wished—but what a wretch I am! It is doubly mean to justify one's conduct in such a case as this. But I will tell you, prince, that if I had accepted anything from you, I should have made it up to you for it, by being your plaything, your servant, your ballet dancer, your slave, anything you wished. I had sworn to this, and I should have kept my oath." A severe spasm at the throat stopped her for a moment, while all the guests sat and listened like so many blocks of wood, their eyes and mouths wide open. This unexpected, and to them perfectly unintelligible sally on Zina's part, had utterly confounded them. The old prince alone was touched to tears, though he did not understand half that Zina said. "But I will marry you, my beautiful child. I will marry you, if you like," he murmured, "and esteem it a great honour, too. But I assure you it was all a dream. What does it matter what I dream? Why should you take it so to heart? I don't seem to understand it all. Please explain, my dear friend, what it all means," he added to Paul. "As for you, Pavel Alexandrovitch," Zina recommenced, also turning to Mosgliakoff, "you whom I had made up my mind, at one time, to look upon as my future husband, you who have now so cruelly revenged yourself upon me, must you needs have allied yourselves to these people here, whose object at all times is to humiliate and shame me? And you said that you loved me! However, it is not for me to preach moralities to you, for I am worse than all. I wronged you, distinctly, in holding out false hopes and half promises. I never loved you, and if I had agreed to be your wife, it would have been solely with the view of getting away from here, out of this accursed town, and free of all this meanness and baseness. However, I swear to you that had I married you, I should have been a good and faithful wife. You have taken a cruel vengeance upon me, and if that flatters your pride, then—" "Zina!" cried Mosgliakoff, "if you still hate me, Zina! If you ever did love me, Zinaida Afanassievna!" Zina, Zina, my child!" cried Maria Alexandrovna. "I am a blackguard, Zina, a blackguard, and nothing else!" cried Mosgliakoff, while all the assembled ladies gave way to violent agitation. Cries of amazement and of wrath broke upon the silence, but Mosgliakoff himself stood speechless and miserable, without a thought, and without a word to plead for him. "I am an ass, Zina!" he cried at last, in an outburst of wild despair. "An ass! Oh, far, far worse than an ass! But I will prove to you, Zina, that even an ass can behave like a generous human being. Uncle, I cheated you! It was I who cheated you! You were not asleep, you were wide awake when you made this lady an offer of marriage. And I, scoundrel that I was, out of revenge because I was rejected by her myself, persuaded you that you had dreamed it all!" "Dear me, what wonderful and interesting revelations we are being treated to now!" whispered Natalia to Mrs. Antipova. "My dear friend," replied the prince, "compose yourself, do! I assure you, you quite startled me with that sudden exclamation of yours. Besides, you are labouring under a delusion. I will marry the lady, of course, if necessary; but you told me yourself it was all a dream." "Oh, how am I to tell you? Do show me, somebody, how to explain to him! Uncle, uncle, this is an important matter, a most important family matter. Think of that, uncle! Just try to realise that!" "Wait a bit, my boy, wait a bit! Let me think. First there was my coachman, Theophile—" "Oh, never mind Theophile now, for goodness' sake! Of course we need not waste time over Theophile. Well, then came Napoleon, and then we seemed to be sitting at tea, and some lady came and ate up all our sugar—" "But, uncle!" cried Mosgliakoff, at his wits' end, "it was Maria Alexandrovna herself told us that anecdote about Natalia Dimitrievna. I was here myself and heard it. I was a blackguard, and listened at the keyhole." "How, Maria Alexandrovna!" cried Natalia. "You've told the prince, too, have you, that I stole sugar out of your basin? So I come to you to steal your sugar, do I? Do I?" "Get away from me!" cried Maria Alexandrovna, with the abandonment of utter despair. "Oh, dear, no! I shall do nothing of the sort, Maria Alexandrovna. I steal your sugar, do I? I tell you you shall not talk of me like that, madame; you dare not! I have long suspected you of spreading this sort of rubbish abroad about me. Sophia Petrovna came and told me all about it. So I stole your sugar, did I, eh?" "But, my dear ladies," said the prince, "it was only part of a dream. What do my dreams matter?" "Great tub of a woman!" muttered Maria Alexandrovna through her teeth. "What? I'm a tub, too, am I?" shrieked Natalia Dimitrievna. "And what are you yourself, pray? Oh, I have long known that you call me a tub, madam. Never mind. At all events my husband is a man, madam, and not a fool like yours." "Yes, quite so. I remember there was something about a tub, too," murmured the old man, with a vague recollection of his late conversation with Maria Alexandrovna. "What, you too? You join in abusing a respectable woman of noble extraction, do you? How dare you call me names, prince, you wretched old one-legged misery? I'm a tub, am I, you one-legged old abomination?" "What, madam? I one-legged?" "Yes, one-legged and toothless, sir, that's what you are!"
"Yes, and one-eyed too!" shouted Maria Alexandrovna.
"And what's more, you wear stays instead of having your own ribs," added Natalia Dimitrievna. "His face is all on wire springs." "He hasn't a hair of his own to swear by." "Even the old fool's moustache is stuck on," put in Maria Alexandrovna. "Well, Alexandrovna, give me the credit of having a nose of my very own, at all events," said the prince, overwhelmed with confusion under these unexpected disclosures. "My friend, it must have been you betrayed me! You must have told them that my hair is stuck on!" "Uncle, what an idea! My dear boy, I can't stay here any longer. Take me away somewhere. Que société! Where have you brought me to, eh? Gracious heaven! What dreadful society!" "Idiot! Scoundrel!" shrieked Maria Alexandrovna. "Goodness!" said the unfortunate old prince. "I can't quite remember just now what I came here for at all. I suppose I shall remember directly. Take me away quick, my boy, or I shall be torn to pieces here. Besides, I have an idea that I want to make a note of." "Come along, uncle, it isn't very late. I'll take you over to a hotel at once, and I'll move over my own things too." "Yes, of course, a hotel. Good-bye, my charming child. You alone, you are the only virtuous one of them all, and you are a noble child. Good-bye, my charming girl. Come along, my friend. Oh, good gracious, what people!" I will not attempt to describe the end of this disagreeable scene after the prince's departure. The guests separated in a hurricane of scolding and abuse, and mutual vituperation, and Maria Alexandrovna was at last left alone amid the ruins and relics of her departed glory. Alas, alas! Power, glory, weight, all had disappeared in this one unfortunate evening. Maria Alexandrovna quite realized that there was no chance of her ever again mounting to the height from which she had now fallen. Her long preeminence and despotism over society in general had collapsed. What remained to her? Philosophy? She was wild with the madness of despair all night. Zina was dishonoured. Scandals would circulate, never-ceasing scandals, and oh, it was dreadful! As a faithful historian, I must record that poor Afanassy was the scapegoat this night. He caught it so terribly that he eventually disappeared. He had hidden himself in the garret, and was there starved to death almost, with cold, all night. The morning came at last, but it brought nothing good with it. Misfortunes never come singly. End of Chapter 14. Recording by Greg Giordano. Newport Richey, Florida.